Hi, I'm Sean Cabe, and I've grown up in Bloomington, Normal, Illinois my whole life. I go to church at Bloomington Apostolic Christian Church, and I just graduated high school and getting ready to start at a 2-year college in the fall.
My name is Jackson Beer. I'm from Roanoke, Illinois. I go to church at the Apostolic Christian Church of Roanoke. I just finished my freshman year at Illinois State University, and I'm studying finance.
So I've gone on 2 week-long mission trips here in the past. One was my freshman year, and one was my junior year. And the one my freshman year had a lot of change in my life. It led to me eventually getting baptized my sophomore year, or as part of my story. And then my junior year, I just felt like the change again on being more of a leader in the church, more at that point. And after junior year, I kind of felt a little down that I wouldn't have a trip like this again. But I was starting to think on how I could come down here again, and I remembered that there were 2 interns my junior year, Landon, Keezer, and Tyler. And they were good friends of mine. I knew them pretty well, so I kind of was able to talk to them throughout the year and find out more about this position. And I sort of mentioned it to Jackson at first, but we kind of dropped the idea just because at the time maybe felt a little unrealistic. But then he brought it up more later in January, and it just started picking up from there, where we both were feeling called to go there, and I'll let him share a little more on his side of the story.
Yeah, my sister was one of the first AC Apostolic interns down here 3 summers ago. And so I kind of I had come down to visit her, and just seeing what she did was cool to me. And then come to find out Tyler and Landon last summer interned, and I'm good friends with both of them through college and just connecting through church. And so, yeah, the Lord put on my heart to go and do something, kind of get out of Illinois and just find more purpose in my summer. And so I was starting to balance the idea of coming down here and another place, another ministry. And as I was praying about it, the Lord just kind of pushed me toward this direction. And then the Lord put Sean on my mind to ask. And so yeah, we started to communicate with the necessary people to come down here, and here we are.
So in our time down here, I felt like there were mainly 2 different parts. One was with groups and one was without groups. And without groups, on Mondays we would work in the food pantry. We would do a lot of boxing, like all these different types of goods, to just kind of prepare for what we did on Wednesday, which was the community would come out in their cars, and they would slowly back in, and then they would have an order, like 1 or 2 families and then several children, and we would load those boxes in the cars. And that was just kind of a good way to get to know the community and like what we were dealing with around us, and just to see the hurt and poverty going on, but then at the same time still like seeing the joy in their lives and their excitement to get a small blessing like this. And it's really humbling, because I'm not always happy with the way things go in my life, but it's really humbling to see how well these people deal with their situations, to try and help me for the better. And then on other days we would just help around campus. We would have a list that we would make ourselves, and Miss Audrey would have a couple things for us to do to just kind of help keep this place nice and tidied up. So
Yeah, so we've been down here, or the total summer will be 9 weeks. We had 4 groups in those 9 weeks. So those are teams of between 20 and 50 people that come down for a week, and they're here to serve. And our role kind of changes when they're down here. A lot of it becomes enabling them to serve and giving them the resources they need, the communication they need the tools they need to go and make a difference here. And that's been a cool part of being down here, just learning how to work with people and meeting people too. A lot we really enjoy when there's mission teams here, just to get to know them and have fun with them. Some other things we did when there were not teams here is we got to rent an excavator, learn how to use that and do some projects, dig a drain. We used a stump grinder and ground 23 stumps on the property. We got to use a skid steer a little bit, and it was just cool to do different things and learn a lot, honestly. And yeah, in addition, we helped Miss Connie prepare meals for the teams when they were down here. And we learned a lot in the kitchen, as we are not coming in. We are not the best cooks on the planet. Now we might be, but yeah, we learned a lot through that too, and got to enjoy serving.
So I've really been thankful for my time down here in Sunset Gap. I feel like I've seen a lot of growth in my life in many different areas, spiritually, just physically, other ways. And at first I wasn't too sure I was going to come down here, but I feel like the Lord has led me well, and very thankful for the way He's led me. I'd also like to thank Miss Audrey for being just such a joy to my life every day, our life every day. She really knows how to make or put a smile on our faces, and just be a light in the room. And then also would love to thank Miss Connie for all the sacrifices she makes. She's always up at like 5 o'clock, even 4 o'clock in the morning, working on breakfast for different groups, and just the sacrifices she makes. It's very inspiring, and we need more people like that in this world, and she's just a good example of that.
Yeah, I am also very thankful for my time here. We've learned a lot. We've got to have fun, and we've gotten to make a difference. And so I would highly encourage anybody watching to put yourself out of your comfort zone and ask the Lord where He can send you to make a difference, and be willing to go. And yeah, we're super thankful to Audrey and Connie and the volunteers in the food pantry and the mission teams that came down that we got to work with, and just anybody we got to interact with while we were down here, because they really welcomed us and just made our time here enjoyable and something we're thankful to look back on. And yeah, thank you for watching. Bye.
See ya.